Hey guys, it's Carol and thank you for stopping by for my stitching update. So this one is actually super mega crazy delayed. Just roll with it. Summer was like not my time for filming my usual filming location. This is actually the chair that my son sits in to play Xbox. Guess what he did all summer? That's right, grinded his little heart out playing every game he can possibly think of. I know I probably should have made him do like more stuff. He did not touch enough grass, but whenever, neither here nor there, kids are back in school. So I get my actual filming spot back that I like way better. But what that meant is I had all like my progress from the beginning of August, and it's sat in my camera ever since. Like I didn't even get it to my laptop. It's been like really that kind of month, summer, season, whatever. Key thing though, I've been stitching up a storm both for my update from the beginning of August and since then, so I basically just wanted to jump right into this is going to be all of my stitching from a month ago, and I hope you enjoy it, and I will be back with my normal update next week. With that, I have a bunch of whips to share with you, and I also have a new start. First up is going to be Heaven and Earth Designs mini interior of Tintern Abbey. This is based on a painting from 1794, and I only know this because my kids finally asked me and I looked it up on Wikipedia. I felt very smart and I can still remember the date because they asked me only 3 days ago. I will have forgotten by this time next week. I promise. Here's where it was last time. Here's where it is today. As you can see, I finished another row, so I believe this is 5 down, which means I'm at least 4,000 stitches into the project. Actually, I mean, there's more. As you can see, it's been filling in. But this one it's just so pretty. It photographs beautifully, by the way, so when my mom came to visit the week before I went on vacation, she actually insisted I pull it out. I hadn't touched it for a couple weeks at that point, but she wanted to see it because she's also seen my sister's progress. I will also tell you, I'm slightly jealous. My sister, I believe, is starting down here. She's in page 4. I mean, I'm not really jealous. She also watches my videos, but I just wish I were like faster. So I'm using the typewriter method, and as you can see where we're getting to these trees that are on top of the broken building, that you start like really filling in the sky. Less colors over here, so it just takes a little longer to fill down. But this is so beautiful. I have to say I am really pleased with how this one is looking, and I think I had done a little bit of the, if I devote this amount of time for the next like year, I would be able to be done, and so I'd figured it out and then said, and that's not going to happen. So let's just let it happen on its own time. Which it is. But it is really cool because it's obviously there's more like sky having developed early on. It was like, okay, well I guess there's sky because it's, you know, a pile of blue, but now you can see that there's a cloud top right here. It's just, it really has come together very nicely. I am doing this on an 18 count, and I don't know if this is the first or second project where I'd started doing the loop starts with the, so because it's 2/1 on the 18 count. I really, really love the loop starts for these full coverage pieces. Big fan. My next whip is my Basilica kit. It is Summer Symphony. It's our picture. I had picked this up as an out-of-print kit on eBay. It was a pretty good price, and I will be honest, for the fact it was just kind of a lark, it was, I think, $15 all told, including shipping. I love this one. It is really so much fun. This has been, well, my last video, Dreaming of Tulips, was like my refresher piece, this one has been my refresher piece. This is where we are now. As you can see, I have done like this tree was really not nearly like this before. This one's just been great. I have loved the time that I've been spending with it. It's on a 14 count fabric, and I just want to share that I have a newfound appreciation for Aida. I had gone through a stretch in my 20s and 30s where all of my cross stitch that I did as a kid was on Aida. That's all my mom had. We didn't go to any like needle workshops. If it wasn't at Joann's, Michael's, big box craft stores, we didn't buy it. So we'd literally get like the tubes of like the random sizes, and you're like trying to fit projects in, and sometimes you have way too much fabric, or you're squeaking it in. Like, yeah, that's like how I'd roll. Well, anyway, I kind of got into like this snobby thing where, oh, Ada's ugly. Okay, it really is not the prettiest fabric. I am not even gonna lie to you about that. But honestly, when you get it framed and you can't see the holes in it anymore, because like step back a distance, you don't see it, not really. And so it's easy to stitch on. Like, it truly is easy to stitch on. The other thing is, I guess a lot of the patterns that I worked on when I was a kid had a lot of like fractionals, and so sitting there and piercing and trying to make it like, yeah, okay, doing fractionals is way easier on linens and even weaves. Absolutely, like 100%. But you know what? You can still totally do it on Ada. Like, this does not call for a huge amount of fractionals. Some of them I've done, like I made more than I like to kind of tinker with these kits a little bit, because I don't like to have colors poke on the outside of like backstitch lines. Anyway, so the point is, like, yeah, it's actually way easier to do fractionals than I remember as a kid, so I suspect it had more to do with me being a kid and being frustrated about it, not so much that it was an issue. But yeah, like I said, 14 count Ada, like, no matter how tired my eyes are, I can work on this. Like, which, if it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm still wearing my contacts, at least I can still see it. Like, these are considerations that I guess when you're in your 40s you have to start making. Yay. I don't know, I go to the optometrist in a week, so like hopefully he doesn't say that, you know, my vision's changing too badly. But like I said, it's really nice. This is going along really, really well. I'm in the house. You can see the roof line here on the gable. It's just been fun. Like I said, this has been the piece when I just want to pick something up and knock a little bit out. This is what I've been reaching for. My next piece is a little bit of an exercise in frustration for me right now. So this is Custom Crafts Autumn Chapel. I had started this last year as a easier full coverage, doing it on an 18 count. Here's where I was last time. And here we are today. I mean, I got another diagonal row done. And this is the only one I'm parking on. It's going. So, go ahead, ask what my frustration is. I'll give you a hint. The page break, so about a quarter way down, this project is here, but that's way more than a quarter of the way down my fabric. I remeasured this. I don't know if when I cut this piece, so this was off a fat half of 18 count Zweigart Ada Artiste by Zweigart. It was the stuff at Hobby Lobby. By the way, isn't it, you also can't find the 18 count fat halves anymore. I found like the 14 count, but not the 18 count. Michael's has it, so I guess Michael's is gonna be getting some of my cross stitch when I'm looking for just big chunks of Ada in the future. Anyway, problem is, this piece is going to be, I think, 12¼ inches tall. This cut of fabric is 16½ inches tall, and I started 3 inches down. I don't know if I thought I was cutting at like the 18-inch mark or what, but there is room. I can fit this entire project. It's gonna come down to like here. I talked to my sister about it because I wanted her input, and she's like, well, whatever you want, but because I am about 33, I think I counted, it's like 3,300 stitches. And it feels very like the idea of frogging this just sounds awful. Like, it really does. But guess what? I can't keep going. Like, it was starting to, as I was working on it, this one went on vacation with me, and that's when I was working down here and going, this just isn't feeling right. And so when I got home, I remeasured and realized I was gonna I can't. I cannot have this huge margin at the top, no margin at the bottom. It's not gonna fit in the Q-snap well, and it's going to bother me. Like, I know this now, so instead of continuing forward, I'm gonna be ripping all this out. I'm gonna use the same fabric. I mean, I'm fine with a 2-inch margin on the top and bottom. I'm just not fine with a 3-in-1. The other thing, so I'd been doing this very, like, I wanted to do kind of, I see people doing this on social media and it looks so pretty, like you see it stepping. I cannot stand parking. I am trying and I hate it. I hate dealing with all the floss everywhere. It just feels, it's not even just that it's messy, it feels like wasteful because I have like 5 different strands of the exact same color and like across here. I don't like it. And it's a pain in the butt to manage. I don't like how I've been doing the square by square. It's like, this is about the same number of stitches as the Tintern Abbey project. But Tintern Abbey is way more fun to work on, even though its chart is printed smaller. No, this one should be easy and fun. It has more blocks of color. Like it would be theoretically be an easier stitch, except for I have set up a scenario where I stitch in a manner that I don't enjoy as much and have all my thread in a way that I don't enjoy much. So I've basically turned in what should have been a fun project and it's been less fun, which is why I haven't wanted to pull it out. So, guess what that means? All this has got to come out and I'll have to start over. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do next time. I am enjoying going just from the top right corner this time. It just has to do with how I tend to follow threads across the fabric when I'm kind of picking cross country. So I do think I'm gonna do this as an upper right start again, but I'm definitely not doing this again. That I know. Now, that said, this will be a restart at some point this year. I just don't know when. So stay tuned for that. On a happier note, Modern Folk Embroideries Ave Maria. Okay, I'm not really on track for the end of December or end of September finish, but I am pretty happy with my progress. Here's where it was last time. Here's where it is now. I'm not quite to this upper corner, but you can see where it's going. I mean, this is pretty coming along. I mean, this is like the edge right here. So I don't know, there's something about it. I feel like I've turned a corner. Obviously I literally turned a corner. Oh, terrible pun. Whatever, you get the idea. Because so much of the stitching on this is doing this outside border, I really feel like I have cracked the code on this one. It's the one that actually has been getting a lot of my morning stitching time because it works really well in the 25 minutes that I have to work with, and I can knock out usually I'll pull the strands of floss, so it'll be like, if I pull the strand of 6, I can use up about 4 of those 6 strands, and this is 2/2, so really I'm doing 2 cut lengths, and it works out really well. Like I said, 25 minutes in the morning, and that's why I've been able to get as much done as I have. So, like I said, end of September, probably not realistic. This year, absolutely. So the next one is a interesting piece for me. This is actually a commission piece, and I have permission from the person I'm doing it for to share it with you. I just want to because honestly, it is so ridiculously cute. It is this dimensions kit. It's called Holiday Hoodies, and I have never done a stocking before, and I wanted to. But I basically didn't want to stitch a stocking and then find out that nobody in my household wanted a stitched stocking before I committed to it. So this is an opportunity for me to basically get that itch scratched, if you will. And it's super cute, and I get to help someone else out. Like, everything about it was honestly just a great win-win scenario for me. So I went ahead, I started this one on vacation. And what I've been doing is actually taking a picture every hour just to, I don't know, get a feel for how much progress you can make on one of these kits, like as you're stitching it up. Like, because I had a rough guess at how long I thought it would take me, and I'm kind of now curious to see how correct I'm going to be. So without any further ado, because it is, this is on a 14 count ice blue, does it tell me? Light blue. Okay, 14 count light blue Ada. It is going to be in a 16-inch stocking. So I am starting with the top owl, which obviously you can see here. This is the middle one, and this is so cute, like absolutely insanely cute. I have been having such a blast with it. The only thing that I have changed, the Dimensions kits, this is just out of their regular line. They don't have you do any fractionals. They have you, like, these are all full stitches, and then you have back stitch, and you have X's hanging out here, there, and everywhere. And I can't do that. I am using, like, I am being really like fractionals here and there, and basically the same picks that I would do if I were working in one of my Mirabellas where they expect you to do fractionals, that's how I'm doing this. And I am saving the back stitch all the way until the end. So this is gonna like have like a song title on it. It'll just pop really, really nicely at the end. It's also the other reason I was willing to take on this project. It is not a full coverage. So the background is supposed to be this blue. You can't really see it that well because it doesn't stick out. I wish they had used a brighter white, because this looks like equivalent to like a DMC white. This is a case where something equivalent to like the 5200 would have been really helpful, just because it's more optic. I believe there's like more brighteners in it, so it would, I think, jump off a little better. But anyway, there's supposed to be snow falling, so you can see, I mean, these little spots here, you can see snow. But I'm actually like really pleasantly surprised by how quickly this has been stitching up. So you're not gonna see too many times of this because I'm gonna be done and it'll be sent off before you know it, but it is a blast. I am really appreciating kits right now. Like, you have your floss is all already there, you pull it out, like there's so much less thinking. I guess that's you're gonna say, well, DMC, I'm not thinking there either. Yeah, but seriously, like, I don't have to worry about extra floss. Like, the amount they have or they put in the kit is generally, I don't tend to play thread chicken too badly with it. Like, I don't know, it's just great. Next up is Modern Folk Embroideries Fruit of Plenty. Yeah, finally got to May. I realized, so I actually used the stopwatch and made sure that I knew exactly how long it took for me to do the entire April card. Towards the end, I started getting bogged down in the tracking the time, which is why I didn't really want to work on it. Although I did a lot of this. The April card, I was sitting at the vet's office. My dog needed a cardiology checkup, and so we were there for 2 hours. And I may have been cross-stitching in the corner and had the entire staff like, "What are you working on? That's amazing." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." I mean, it is amazing. It's just cross-stitch. Like, I now learned each one of these cards is going to take me about 15 hours. So the entire piece is going to be about 180 hours worth of work. And I could say, oh man, that's a lot. But on the other hand, it's so pretty. Here's where I was last time. This is where we are now. Obviously finished out April. One extra stitch down here went a little too far. I didn't count that one correctly. Ah, well, that happened. Started into May, so filling this one out. The May card has a lot more white space because it's a lot of this, and then there's a really dense piece like right here. So I'm gonna assume it's gonna work out to about the same 15 hours. I'm not gonna track it this time because honestly I don't want to. But one of the takeaways, and my sister she's not looking at doing this piece, but she does want to do one of the Modern Folk Embroidery stitch alongs. And I was able to tell her, like, hey, really, I mean, they look intense, but 30 minutes a day. And I have more than 30 minutes a day I waste doing things that I don't value and that are not, like, useful for my life. Seriously, like the television shows that I don't care about, or the social media scrolling that I could definitely live without. Like, I could find 30 minutes every single day. This will be done. If you start January 1, it'll be done by the end of December. So, yeah, isn't it pretty? I love this piece. I know I say that every single time, but just the more I get into it, like, this one is just gorgeous. It looks amazing in person, it looks amazing on camera, everything about it is just so amazing. So, highly recommend it. Do I see myself getting this one done by the end of this year? I calculated it out. I actually need to spend an hour a day, every single day, in order to get this one to the end of the year. I don't see me doing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say, it's still one of my goal pieces, but I need to be realistic, and that's me being realistic right now. But like I said, keep on plodding on. I love it. Speaking of goals that are still not done, Mirabella Designs Autumn Queen. Here's where it was last time. And here's where it is today. She's huge, like ridiculous. I know, I think I said that one last time too, but I have not started the beading. There is like one spot of DMC up here I missed, and there's a little more DMC down here. The rest of this, we're beading and backstitching. And the backstitching is just the stuff up here. It's really mostly like it's beading at this point. I just haven't started the beading. I was originally hoping to get it done this week, and I haven't wanted to pick up the beading needles. So maybe next week. I mean, it really, look at it. We're not quite done, but so close. Like, it pains me that I am now like not done, like sitting here and telling you this. So I guess next time I bring this out, she should be done. Really hoping so anyway, because like I said, it's a beautiful piece. Like, I love her. I love how her hair came out. I will say, and I know this is out of print, so you're already paying an obscene amount of money to go find it. I did not find the directions for doing her lips to be quite anything that made sense. I also didn't actually use the original called for color because I found it a little too dark. But, you know, compared to the other seasonal queens. But yeah, no, she's come out fantastically, like, perfect. I love her. Can't wait to have her done and framed. I'm not gonna get her framed until Winter Queen is done, so hoping that that is sometime soon. Winter Queen is, I think, gonna be one of my focus pieces for next year. Because again, I have two more. I do have summer and spring. I'd like to have them on the wall. That'd be awesome. But yeah, not a lot else to say other than, whew. Isn't she looking great? I think so. And for my last piece, I also felt like the need to pull out a different Mirabella. I think that was really what it is. I've been focusing so much on getting Autumn Queen done that I've been neglecting the rest. So here's the Stargazer. Here she is. I've been working on her skirt very slowly. What I've been doing is basically on this side, and then I'm kind of filling in going this way across her. So whatever basically is the top color I find in a square, I pick that one for a while, hence why her skirt's coming down here, and then slowly moving across. Didn't put a huge amount, but she's so pretty. Like, I also want to focus on her. Okay, the problem is I want to focus on the ones that are not close to being done, because they're the ones that take my fancy at a moment in time, when I should really, I will say this, by doing this, like, paying attention to my moods, and I guess when I say this, I mean paying attention to the moods. I'm like, ooh, she's the shiny, pretty thing when I have her in my hands. Cool. And then I get to the end, we'll use like Autumn Queen. I'm so close. Like, I already started beading on her, but I haven't started beading on Autumn Queen. Like, how does this even make sense? I mean, it did at the time, but the point, I would rather have a smaller number of projects that are really getting worked on than a little bit of progress on a ton. But the problem is that sometimes when you're doing that, you reach that point of just like, I don't want to be done. Well, I do want to be done. But I should be willing to pay attention to, okay, obviously I love doing the women in really fancy clothing. I mean, if you'll note, Mirabellas, I don't do any, that's the style I pick. So they all use different colors, but they are kind of similar in feel. So if I'm getting burnt out on one, pick up another, and all of a sudden it's like, ooh, I can do the first one again. I don't know, I should just pay more attention to that. But yeah, I think I will say, because the scale of her is so much smaller feeling compared to doing one of the queens, I do feel like I get this done faster. And also this is on a 28 count versus a 32 count, so it just really, this one stitches up faster. I think it's going to make up for it. It obviously has so many more beads, like thousands more than Autumn Queen. So that part's gonna be the slow, but it's fine. But yeah, that's everything I've been working on. Like I said, I'm actually kind of pleased with the progress I've been making on the stuff I've been working with. I am gonna just kind of keep focusing on the things that I already have out. I did put 5 of my projects into, I don't want to say orphan or UFO status. They're not, but they're out of the one. I'm not even reaching for them, and I'm not looking to reach for them. They're, right now, they're called my orphans, and they're the ones that right now they're momentum killers. And when they're not momentum killers, they're just, I don't feel like reaching for them. I have 20, I'm back up to 21 whips. I would not like to have 21 whips. I think that I would like to have like 10 or 11 whips and maybe some stuff kitted up, but the kitted up is not the same as the start, so I'd use all my bags that way. But it's, I'm okay with things that I'm not actively working on, and I actually almost feel better for not even have to worry about planning for them right now. And when they call me, like, that's a different story. Like, hey, you want to, you know, the project wants attention, I'll give it attention, but for right now, it's not even like a thought. But doing that has been really, really helpful for me. So these are like the projects you saw this time. These are the ones that overall I want to pick up. I'm excited to pick up. I'm hoping my restart on Autumn Chapel goes well. I'm probably going to wait until September to do that, because right now it's a source of, it's frustrating for me that the fabric that I miscut, but on the other hand, it's one that I want to work on. So it lives in a weird spot, so I don't want to say that it's not an orphan, but it might be in temporary timeout. Yeah, that's how these things go. Oh, and again, I still have projects that I intend on starting that I haven't yet. So me saying that I want to winnow down my whips by like half, and yet I still want to do these new starts, like, I'm not going to even pretend that I am in the realm of realistic right now. But I'm going to also own that too. Anyway, that's what I have going on right now. I am going to be putting together the bell pull that I'm finishing. There was a Country Cottage Needleworks that I finished last year, Joyful Summer. I'm gonna actually like fully finish it. Finally, I pulled everything out and started really like looking at it. Gonna be doing that over the next week. So hopefully, and I'm taking Coffee Quaker to the framers tomorrow. So I'm actually gonna have hopefully some fully finished objects to show you in the next couple of videos. Anyway, until then, I hope you have a great time with your crafting adventures, and I will see you then. Bye.